All right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Today is Monday. Let me just make sure we're all good here. Shoot. You know what? I actually have to change something real quick on my sound settings. Let's go here. All right. It's not gonna be as good on the Discord end, but I do want to get the audio of you guys in the stream. Okay. Should be good now. All right, cool. All right, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a good day, good start to your week. If you guys don't know me or who I am, my name is John or Johnny. If you whatever you guys can call me either or. But if you guys aren't familiar with me and how I do things, or if you're not familiar with my channel, I'm a full time crypto trader here on YouTube, and I've been in David's group for a while, and I've been kind of sharing my thought process, my analysis, and the methods I use. The primarily one that we focus on is called the ABC method. For those who aren't aware of what that is, long story short, to make things simple, we primarily focus on identifying trends in groups of threes, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. And what we primarily do is look for trade opportunities based off pivots that the market gives us, and we go ahead and try to trade either reversals or continuations of larger trends. Um, we don't do our best to time the top and the bottom, but we do our best to kind of take advantage of the market opportunities that it gives us. And that's pretty simple. It's very straightforward. How you go about approaching ABCs can be a little nuanced sometimes, but that's why um, I'm here to kind of navigate and help you guys go through it. And throughout today's live session, whether you're here in the Discord or here on the Twitch and YouTube end, if you guys have any questions regarding how I do things, um, the ABCs, trading, or anything in between, please feel free to ask. Let's see, H44. Hello, Johnny. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And hello to everyone here in the Discord as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. First thing I want to go over is, if you guys aren't familiar with how I do things, we usually try to stick to a larger time frame, um, and we kind of want to come up with possible options of what could be playing into the future or what could be coming next, and hopefully we can try to navigate the market as a whole, or at least from a larger picture, or at least understand the larger picture while going into our normal perspective and taking trades accordingly. So first things first, there's a couple different things we can go ahead and look at. First thing is we have an ABC here. Now the question is, are we? Is this the end of something? Does this mark the end of the possible bear market, or is this the beginning of something? You can make arguments for either or. If that is the case, if you want to say that this is a potential bottom, we do have an ABC within the C, which marks a very valid point pivot that we have clearly pumped above. And to me, you definitely could make an argument. This is definitely something to consider. Excuse me. This is definitely something to consider. And I personally believe that this is definitely a good option for for how we could be ending, or if the bear market has ended. Definitely a good consideration, or a good option to consider. The next option is maybe perhaps that this is the beginning of something. Maybe this ABC is part of a larger possible A. We're working on a much larger B, and then hopefully we're going to continue down and possibly put in that lower low at, or maybe go test that 10K region or sub 10K region that everyone's talking about, or everyone's talking about back when the FTX stuff was going on. But primarily, this is another good opportunity that we could be that could be building up in the I guess longer term time frame. It's something we have to consider, something we have to acknowledge that could be a possibility. And from there, trying to think of what the other option is. There is one more option that we could possibly consider, is that maybe this ABC, or maybe the C wave within the ABC, is not necessarily done. Maybe we could be forming something like this, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, but definitely could make an argument for that. Regardless, if you're looking at either bearish pivot, at the end of the day, we need a lower low past the previous low at around 15,550. and we can go ahead and look at a potential larger swing to the upside if we can reverse and get back above this pivot. Like I said, if you guys aren't aware of how we do things, a quick recap or a quick I guess tutorial, I can go into it more if you guys need any extra clarification. But pretty much how we do things is if we're looking for a possible bearish reversal or bearish continuation, we're looking for an A to a B to a C. All right. Once price gets back below the pivot of the A, once the C wave crosses above for the short scenario, you would basically go ahead and try to short, or basically you will short as soon as price crosses below that red pivot. Vice versa for the long position. If we have a ABC downtrend, right, with a possible bullish, with a established bullish pivot. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. An established bullish pivot. From there, we can go ahead and wait for price to, once crosses back below, we wait for price to come back up, and then basically hopefully to catch the reversal or the continuation of a larger uptrend. If you guys need me to go over, need to clarify reversals versus continuations, I can definitely go ahead and do so. Let me just pull up the chat, make sure. Okay, cool. All right. So from there, we're pretty much going to go into the smaller time frame and kind of figure out how we can navigate what could be going on. First things first, we do have a larger potential A to a B to a C here. And then within the C wave, we have a larger A, B, C. Sorry, let me clarify actually the B waves back here. All right. And from there, we can definitely go ahead and mark the pivot of the larger A. And from this standpoint and from this setup that we're looking at, as long as price is below the pivot of this A here, which is around 24,320 or 24,280. Let me go ahead and try to get a little bit more accurate of a reading. There you go. As long as it's below that, there is still some bullish pressure, and we do have the possibility of putting in a much larger reversal. Now, does this mean that we're going to completely go reverse and test lower lows? Not necessarily, but definitely could be in the cards if you're looking at the third option, which we talked about before, that maybe we're topping out here soon and putting in a larger C wave, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but at the very least, I think we're due for a larger pullback. And as well as that, we are also in a long position from over here, A to a B to a C with an ABC within the C. And within the ABC within the C, as long as we're above this pivot as well, we're definitely can go ahead and look at a continuation to the upside. That's pretty much the two main positions I'm holding at the moment for BTC. Let's go ahead and check out Ethereum. All right, so you guys can see all these pivots marked out here before, but I'll go ahead and just give you an explanation of what how I came up with these conclusions. First things first, go to 8-hour time frame. Same thing. We do have a larger possible ABC. Now, same question remains as it does for BTC. Are we done at the moment, or are we done, or it's just the beginning of something? We do have a possibility of the ABC ending here, and maybe we're working on some sort of A to a B to a C situation. All right. Regardless if the C wave tops out and reverses, or we can just continue pushing upward. Definitely still ends up focusing on that pivot around 20 at the previous high here, which is around 2032. But if that's not the case, and maybe we're in a larger B wave, I would have to see that high be taken and basically reverse from there. If that's the case, I need to see that low at about 882 be taken out once putting in a new high. And then we can go ahead and start looking for a possible much larger bullish reversal or a possible bull market continuing. I don't know why that was such a tongue twister for me. But that's something to consider. The third option, similar to BTC, I'm not the biggest fan of, but you can make an argument this is a very sharp B, and maybe we're working on some sort of C here, A to a B to a C. Very well, pretty much the same result. The only thing I would say is that this can possibly play out in two different ways. All right, maybe this ABC is part of a larger B, which still ends up with a larger swing to the upside, taking out that most recent high at around, what is that, 2032. So that's possible, but I think if we're personally going to come down, break these lows, I think we're going to come down and test that. But I got to take it one level at a time. That's pretty much it for the larger pivots. Let's go ahead and talk about the possible the positions I'm in, what I'm currently looking for, and how I can go ahead and try to capitalize off of any of these opportunities or any of the options that I've shown before. One of the possible opportunities is that we have an ABC, A to a B to a C, and then we have this ABC, and from there, I'm basically trying to play into the larger possible reversal. So I am shorting from the pivot of this most recent A here, or this larger A, which is at around 1725, 1724. And see if I'm going to get, yeah, that's better. And from there, I'm basically holding a short, and I'm just waiting for a price to show continuation to the downside. Depending on what happens, either if we get a larger pullback, or maybe if we get a larger possible, how do I say this? A larger possible B wave into a larger C. Very well could be possible. It's something I have to consider. And hopefully, if this is the case, the market will give us an opportunity to go ahead and take a larger A to a B to a C. And we can go ahead and play into that as a possibility. And then we can ride the next wave up. Or if that doesn't happen, let's say we just keep falling and we do end up working towards new lows. I'm still in a short position. I don't plan on giving that up anytime soon. So hopefully we can get an answer here shortly of what the larger move what's going to be, whether it's to the upside, to the downside. Let me also highlight the long position I'm in as well. Very similar to how BTC is playing out. And we do have an ABC within the C of the B wave. I don't want this to get too confusing, so I'm just going to focus on that. And that pivot is going to be at around 1486. So as long as we're above there, and as well as short as we're below 1724, you can see there's kind of a range we're establishing here. And at some point, we are going to break to one side or the other. And regardless of what happens, we're going to be in a winning trade. Hopefully, this will be a much larger move to either direction, and we can go ahead and capitalize on that regardless. Let's see. Let me just double check chat to make sure I'm not missing anything. Where's the... All right, cool. Looks like I'm good. And that's pretty much it for ETH. Let's go over LTC. We're at, let's see what's going on at the moment. So for LTC, kind of the same thing, the larger picture. All right, we have a possible A to a B. Oh, sorry, I didn't go large enough. There we go. We have a possible A, which is highlighted here in the yellow, A to a B to a C. This could be the end, the potential bottom, or maybe we're working on something a lot larger. Maybe we're working on a larger A to some sort of larger B to continuation to a C. If this is the case and we're going to see a lower low, we need to see the low of the previous pivot of the lowest A, which is around 40.27. Go ahead and break below, and then we get a reclaim back above. Hopefully we can go ahead and catch a good macro position on that. That's something I am looking forward to if that is going to happen. And pretty much from there, that's going to be it for the larger term time frame of what. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, I messed up. There's one more scenario. The other scenario, what could be working on is maybe we are done down here. All right, let me just get rid of all this. Maybe we're working on some sort of larger A to a B to a C. Definitely very likely as well. So something I will keep in mind on, regardless of what options that we're looking at, a lot of signs point to a larger possible dump. Now, it could be a larger reversal or a larger pullback. Either one is very possible. We have an A to a B to a C for an A to a B to a C, right? Within that C wave, we have an A to a B to a C. All right. And then within that C wave, we have an A to a B to a C. All right. That being said, me personally, I did not take the ABC within the C. The short setup would have been at about 103.10. I personally did not take that. I'm personally waiting for a lower price to get back below the pivot of the larger ABC at 85.41. If we can get back below there and stay below, I definitely will be considering a short position for a much larger move. I'm not going to say that we're going to go down and put lower lows, but I will short it just in case we do get a larger pullback. I almost had to sneeze. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and talk. So we're gonna do this. Usually, how we do things here on Davis channel is I'll pick an altcoin, and if you guys want me to look at something, I'll keep an eye on chat, and you can go ahead and just give me a recommendation before we move on to traditional markets. I'm going to pick something that's commonly asked for. I'll do ADA. All right, so for ADA, we do have a much larger possible ABC. The reason why I picked this as well because it's a little bit more challenging for me. It gets the gears going and gets me thinking about what could be happening. We do have an A to a B to a C to an A to A to B to a C. I'm not. This is kind of hard to dissect, in my opinion. For me, this is the best conclusion I can come up with on my own. This is what I think is personally the best. I guess you call it variation. There's a couple of things that could be said though. Maybe we're not done with the C wave. Maybe we're putting another ABC. Maybe I can call for one more pivot to one more test at a low, breaking that, break the most recent low, and then reclaim that as a possible long opportunity. Definitely possible. The other option is that maybe we are done down here and working on some sort of larger A to a B to a C. And then we either, slowly work our way back up, or we can go ahead and try to put in a possible pullback within a larger structure. We're not necessarily there in price progress yet, so I kind of have to wait and see how price develops, but definitely a good possible opportunity. As you can see, we're kind of fighting around that macro pivot there at around 40 cents. And something to keep an eye on, if we can get a reclaim of that, there is going to be some bullish pressure. So I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to see more upside if we do push through that resistance. But that's pretty much it for ADA. Actually, no, hold on. I keep saying that, but I always forget to do the smaller time frame. My apologies, guys. Within this wave here, we have a possible bearish reversal. All right. As long as we're below the pivot of about 41.38, I definitely would go ahead and consider that a possible. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, guys. Hold on, let me mute my mic. Okay, sorry about that. I have one of the phones in my room, so it was just going off. So pretty much, long story short, we do have that bearish pivot here, and hopefully we can go ahead and capitalize off of a potential down move from there. I know some people in my group have considered this short. I don't know if they actually taken it, but definitely something I've been keeping an eye on. In order for me to take a bullish position, I need to see some sort of larger separation and trend with its own ABC, and then we can go ahead and consider a larger possible reversal, and we can go ahead and try to take the next move up. But besides that, that's pretty much it for ADA. Let's see. Let me just check chat again to make sure I'm all caught up, as well as okay. Does anybody here have any particular coin you want me to look at? Vlad, what do you think? What are you thinking?
Not that much. I mean, this week I was not very into the crypto space. I was busy with development of other things, but I believe we might go down a little bit more before we finally go up to like a 30K or something like that. I'm talking talking about Bitcoin, not on ADA. But yeah, that means yeah, hopefully we'll see 30K on ADA in some millennia.
We'll all be rich.
um, yeah, that I'm a bit bearish overall, but yeah, you might never know. That's why guys like you, Johnny, are here to enlighten us.
Yep. All right. Let me just double check chat and make sure I'm all caught up, and then we'll move on to let's see. Illusion, how you doing, my friend? Someone asked for DYDX. Can you clarify that for me? What if that's on a certain exchange? DYDX. Let me know which exchange you use. I'll take a look at it. I'm assuming it's Binance, but let me know if I'm wrong. I'll give it a second to give him a chance to respond. I'll take a look at some other coins too. KuCoin? Oh yeah, it's a lot better. Okay. Yeah, we'll do KuCoin. So first things first, based off what I see here, let's see if that broke the low. It did not break the low. So we have a possible A, B, C, A, B, C. All right. This is what I'm going to go with. A to a B to a C. All right. This shows a possible reversal with a larger possible A to a B. Okay. An A to a B situation where we might come up and keep pushing higher. The only caveat I would say that might go against that is that we did put in a much larger bearish structure here. And we are currently, or we are still above the pivot, so things could be looking good. But something to keep in mind, if we do cross, oh wait, did it put in a higher high? Well, let me make sure before I didn't mess up. So it looks like a double top situation. All right, if it's a double top situation, then definitely, most likely, yeah, this is still going to be the A. All right, so A to a B to a C. All right, so the B can go all the way back up to the 0 line. As long as it doesn't cross, the B doesn't cross above the A, we're in a good situation here. You have to redraw how you would look at this set of waves here if that was the case. But at the moment, the most important thing to keep an eye on for now is this bearish pivot. You can see we're kind of fighting around this region around 275.14. If we come back below and sustain below, I think there's a possible chance for, at the very least, a larger pullback. I'm not saying we're going to put in new lows, but I would say we're due for a larger pullback. And then if that is the case, we have something available like this going on that I would consider a very possible large potential push to the upside. If we can go ahead and put in a continuation setup, I would try to get a buy position down here if that's the case. You know, something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but something along the lines like that. Something you should be able to visually see on like a much larger time frame. That could be I would say a 2 hour. If you can see a nice setup on a 2 hour like this, where I'm zoom out and you can see a nice clear ABC, definitely a possible entry. But as of right now, we're currently above that pivot, so we definitely could be breaking up to the upside from here. But thank you so much for the suggestion. Let's go ahead and transition onto traditional markets here. Let me just make sure. Okay. So a couple of things I want to look at when it comes to the traditional markets is the SPY. As you can see, I still have this up from last time, but I'll go ahead and recreate it. From the top of the bull market, we have a larger A, B to a C to an A with a much larger pullback for a B and a much larger continuation for a C, with the pivot being around 361.75 or 78, 361. Let's say if it's around 361.80. If we can maintain above that, things are looking pretty good. The only thing I could say that you could argue against is that this ABC is part of a larger A. We have a much larger ABC that looks like it's finished and holding below still to show a possible bearish reversal before continuing down to a larger C. If that is the case, I need the previous low to be broken and then reclaimed. So once we can get back below 348.59, I'll definitely look for something like that. Hopefully we can get a possible larger reversal. This would most likely conclude the end of the bear market if we are to continue lower. Let's also take a look at, that's pretty much it for the Dow Jones. I don't really do too much smaller time frame analysis on it just because stock market does move a little bit slower. Okay, this is something I did. This is something I did want to look at. We have something interesting going on with the DXY. Before doing that, I just want to focus on the much larger setup. All right, if I go to a 2-day, we have a very large A to, well, we have an A to a B to a C. Come on. Yeah, A to a B to a C. The ABC formed its own, or sorry, there's an ABC within the C wave. So that's what I'm primarily focusing on, is playing into the larger reversal of what could be going on here. But me personally, based off of the much larger ABC that you see here, the pivot is at around 103.83. All right, so if we can get back below and maintain below that pivot, if I zoom into a smaller time frame, we definitely have the potential to be bearish on the DXY. And from there, we can go ahead and zoom into a little bit more of a smaller time frame. All right, to me, keeping all this in mind, we have a much larger possible A to a B to a C. Now, this looks like one larger trend in my opinion. But if we had to break this up, I would call it like this. I'm not the biggest fan, but this how things have been shaping up and how this has been developing. This is the best conclusion I can come up with. But we do have an argument for something like this happening. We have a nice clear separation in trend, and we can possibly look for something much lower. So there's definitely an argument to be made that the DXY could be topping out soon. Obviously that's bullish for assets in general, BTC, stock market, etc. But something to keep an eye on, is that we do have a larger A to a B to a C with its own ABC within the C. So we are possibly topping out here. Like I said, to keep an eye on that pivot there, as well as keep an eye on this pivot on a little bit of a smaller time frame. This will give me a little bit more of a bearish confirmation of what could be going on. And from there, hopefully, we, if we do get a continuation downwards, just keep an eye on a possible pump for assets in general. So we'll see how that plays out. If not, if the DXY continues to be bullish, there's really no resistance besides this line here. If we break that, I think there's a couple stops on the way up, but I definitely think the DXY can go higher. Just make sure I'm all caught up on chat here. Cool. All right. And then see, let's go over to what do I want to do? Gold. All right. So gold is developing in an interesting way. So if I go out to a larger time frame, all right, we do have a possible larger completed ABC here, with the bullish pivot being around 16 to 77, and we currently are holding significantly higher above that. So looks like we do have potential more upside. The one thing to keep in mind is that we are still in a pullback wave. At the end of the day, regardless of where this pulls back to, I would like to see, at the very least, if we are going to reverse on a larger scale, one more test of the upside to break that 1958 previous high and then reverse once we break above it. Something like this. We'll have to see how that forms. Ideally, if not, we're probably going to go ahead and just keep pumping. And I think we're going to test the previous high at around 2075. But besides that, there's nothing too significant. Let's see. That I see on when it comes to gold. Let's take a look at silver. So when it comes to silver, we do have a larger A to a B to a C. All right. And from there, that shows a larger completed possible B wave. I personally think that we're probably going to continue higher. If we do not continue higher, this becomes some sort of situation to where we form an A to a B. Oh, I double clicked by accident. A to a B to a C. And then we can go ahead and look for lower lows and eventually, hopefully, come back above at some point at this pivot if we do decide to show some sort of bullish reversal signal. But besides that, I'm still on the fence of what could be happening here. Ideally, I would like to see this happen and maybe have an ABC retest the high. If not, keep pushing through the next high. But besides that, that's pretty much it for silver and gold. Does anybody have any traditional assets you want me to look at? If not, I'm going to do Vlad's favorite. All right. All right, Vlad. Let's see if you got to make your way over to the BMW dealership. Oh, okay, interesting. Not gonna lie, I do like looking at this once a week just to see how it's developing. All right, Vlad. Good and bad news. Let's see if it's put in this high. If we did put in that high, we do have a possible reversal setup. You can see it found resistance at that previous high. I want to see if it put in a new high. Let's see if Vlad has to go. Okay. Yep, it put in that previous. It put in a very slight wick high. Doesn't mean that we're done, but I have seen situations to where it's reversed off the tiniest wick. So keep that in mind. But I honestly think we might, if we do reverse, I think we're gonna come up on at least a little bit more of a significant high before reversing. If it does not hold and we continue upwards, it looks like 123.44 is the pivot of the previous high. And I'm gonna go ahead and be a little bit more bullish on that. Sorry, a little bit more bearish if we can't maintain above that high once we cross it. As you can see, I know you guys, some of you guys are from traditional patterns. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders here. So definitely could be a possible sign that we can continue much higher. But obviously, I don't keep that in mind. I primarily focus on EBCs. All right. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? This one was kind of a fast one today. Kind of just breezed right through all these. No? Any takers? All right. If anyone doesn't have any other questions, Vlad, can I make a little announcement before we head off here?
Thank you very much, Johnny, for the BMW. I wasn't able to speak. Yeah. Didn't quite pay attention, but I heard something in the news, something big coming on the Binance. Maybe we should check also BNB if it's possible.
Yeah, we can do BNB. All right. This right? Why is there so many wicks? No, that can't be right.
That's actually right. That's how BNB, the Binance US works, you know?
Huh. Wait, is it the US?
You know the
Is it...
big week on Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was on BNB,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was on Binance US.
Well, whoever
No,
got
I mean,
that.
it was on Bitcoin, but on the Binance US exchange.
Oh, yeah. All right, so did you want me to look at the Binance? Oh, is there a Binance? You want me to look at the Binance US one or
You're
just the regular Binance?
the regular one. You're on a good one.
Okay. So for BNB, we do have a possible. I've considered that I've been looking at this over the last couple months. We do have a possible. Actually, no, sorry. We did cross that lower low, so we do have a possible completed setup. If we are bottomed here, I'm looking for something like this to form, where we get a much more significant push to the upside. The The only caveat is that we do have some resistance here with a possible bearish reversal point. And from there, that's going to be pretty significant in my opinion. I have to wait to see how that develops. Hopefully we can, if we do continue to pump upward, we do get that continuation higher. We did have a bullish setup here as a bullish continuation setup for me. Something I like to see. This is a very, very nice ABC, and how this is developed is I actually like this a lot. Let's see how if we can get a play devil's advocate though. A to a B. All right, so devil's advocate would say maybe we're not done with the C wave. All right, maybe we're working on some sort of larger ABC like this. Sorry. And then we do have the argument that maybe we're working on a larger ABC here for the B. Oh, that's the wrong. That could be possible. I'll keep that mark, that pivot out just in case. All right. Let's see. And if that's going to be the case, I need to see this low be broken. Okay. Yeah, that looks really good to me. So keep an eye on these pivot points. That's pretty much it for BNB at the moment. That's significant in my eyes.
Cool. Okay. So, anyone else would like to add something? Maybe the YouTube chat, Johnny. Are you up to date with that?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. Let me just I'll do one more last call. If you guys are here in the YouTube/Twitch chat, if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. If not, I'm gonna make a little announcement if that's okay with you, Vlad.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Just go ahead with it, and after it, if there is some question, just catch up with it, and let's call it a day.
Right. So, for guys if you guys are new or new to me and new to my channel who haven't seen any of my content yet, I invite you guys to go ahead and stop by, especially today. We're doing something that I don't usually do, but if you go to all right, if you guys go ahead, check out my channel. We're going to be doing a live stream here and coming up in about 45 minutes where I'm going to be giving away actually some lifetime memberships to the Discord, as well as give away some crypto prizes just as a little thank you for supporting me over the past year or so. As well as if you guys are interested in joining my group and have been keep waiting for a sale or a special to go on. I did promise that we do have 1,000 subscriber special coming up, and that should be going live in about 30 minutes. So if you guys are interested and you guys want to get in at a ridiculous of a steal price that I would say is a very good really it's a lot for the price. You get a lot of value when he gets access to the community, access to me, access to Trigger Trade, which I know if you guys are in David's group, you guys are familiar with that. We use Trigger Trade as our platform to go ahead and automate entries for us. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check out the channel. Like I said, we're going to be going live in about 45 minutes, but the special will be starting this. The video will be playing in about the next 30 minutes. So go ahead and check that out if you guys are interested. I would appreciate it. But we can, guys, I would like to see you guys go ahead and stop by, say hello, show some, hang out, show some love. But absolutely not required. You can go ahead. We can go over some more TA stuff if you guys want me to. But that's pretty much it. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by today. I look forward to possibly seeing you guys there. If not, I'll be here again next Monday. We're doing over the same thing. Hopefully we can get a much clearer answer what the market decides to do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate the support. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.
See you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.